Another painful defeat this season, this time against Milan in the Champions League, serves as a wake-up call for Real Madrid. How is it possible that in just a few months, the current champion of Spain and Europe suffers such a sharp drop in performance? In this video, you'll learn about 3 issues that are harming Real Madrid. The past few weeks have been quite challenging for Real Madrid, especially considering the last 2 games. The team suffered 2 major home defeats against strong opponents, first being stunned with a 4-0 thrashing in La Liga by their great rival Barcelona, and then yesterday in the Champions League, where they had the chance to turn the situation around, Carlo Ancelotti's team was once again defeated, losing 3-1 in a match that could easily have ended in a 4 or 5 goal loss, due precisely to the overall weakness of Real Madrid's defensive system. But let's understand what the 3 main factors are that have led to this drop in performance from one season to the next. Number 1. Key injuries. This happens to almost any team. When you have key players injured, it obviously impacts the team's performance, and Real Madrid is no exception. At this point in the season, Real Madrid is dealing with 2 serious injuries in their defensive line. The first, which you're all well aware of, is goalkeeper Courtois. You've probably lost count of how many times the Belgian goalkeeper has saved Real Madrid. In fact, he is, in my opinion, the best goalkeeper in the world today. However, with Courtois out due to injury, Lunin has become the starter. It's not that the Ukrainian is a bad goalkeeper, but Courtois is well above average, so in situations where Courtois would typically save Real Madrid, Lunin simply can't, and this is becoming very apparent. In addition to Courtois' injury, Real Madrid has suffered another crucial loss this season, the severe knee injury of right-back Dani Carvajal, who, besides being an excellent and reliable defender, always did the hard work in defense, committing essential fouls, taking responsibility, leading the team, and also serving as captain. Suddenly, Lucas Vázquez, who is far from Carvajal's level defensively, is playing in his place. Besides these major injuries, Real Madrid has also had to deal with minor absences throughout the season, like a slight injury to Rodrigo and a small injury to Bellingham, which have gradually destabilized the team and disrupted the players' rhythm. And I'm not even mentioning Alaba's injury, which dates back to last season, but he is undoubtedly a quality player who could have helped strengthen Real Madrid's defensive system. Essentially, with these absences, Real Madrid has conceded 18 goals in just 16 games this season, and here's the detail. Of those 18 goals conceded, 7 were in just the last 2 games, 4 against Barcelona and 3 against Milan. Number 2. Toni Kroos's retirement. This is another fundamental factor in Real Madrid's drop in performance. Comparing last season to the current one, the early and unexpected retirement of German midfielder Toni Kroos is significant in terms of quality. I don't even need to explain Toni Kroos's importance. An excellent passer, skilled at free kicks, efficient with set pieces, and a player with incredible vision who controlled Real Madrid's ball distribution and significantly strengthened the defense. Despite being an experienced player, Cruz positioned himself exceptionally well on the field. With his retirement, Real Madrid didn't sign anyone to replace him, and this season, the young French midfielder Chamenet has had more opportunities to fill the role Cruz left behind, but his performances so far have been far from satisfying. The truth is that Chamenet seems to be feeling the pressure of filling Cruz's shoes, often failing in defensive coverage, especially during ball distribution as he's a player with different characteristics, more physically strong than technically skilled. And of course, this is clearly affecting Real Madrid's game. The team isn't developing in the same way, both in attack and defense. Toni Kroos is definitely missed, and it's difficult to even consider finding a player with similar qualities to replace him. To give you an idea, the Spanish press has been highly critical of Chamenet for his recent performances, including yesterday's match against Milan. I don't think this issue is exclusive to Real Madrid. Any team would miss a player of Toni Kroos's quality. The fact is that Ancelotti hasn't yet found a way for Real Madrid to adapt without him. I can use Milan's second goal as an example. With his experience and vision, Cruz would never have made the pass that Chamenet did at the start of the play, which led to the ball reaching Rafael Leão, who shot at Lunin and Morata scored. A player of Toni Kroos's caliber has a very different decision-making ability. He knows which pass is worth the risk, which one isn't, and which ball, if intercepted, could pose a danger to his team. Therefore, Cruz's departure has been one of the main factors contributing to Real Madrid's decline.
Number 3, the arrival of Mbappe. The addition of forward Kylian Mbappe was certainly Real Madrid's big signing for this season. A star player and World Cup scorer, he was brought in to be the finishing touch for Real Madrid. However, so far the effect has been the opposite of what was expected. It was anticipated that with Mbappe, Real Madrid would perform even better, but that hasn't been the case. Despite scoring 8 goals and providing 2 assists in 15 games since his arrival, Mbappe has disappointed both individually and collectively, missing numerous chances, especially against Milan, where this happened again. Collectively, the team has struggled, particularly because Mbappe is naturally more individualistic and does not contribute defensively. In modern football, attackers are also expected to help, at least with the initial pressing, acting as the first barrier in defense, and Mbappe hasn't embraced this role, just as he didn't at PSG. The primary reason Mbappe's arrival has impacted Real Madrid negatively is tactical. Last season, Real Madrid played with 4 midfielders and only 2 attackers, neither of whom was a true center forward. After Benzema's transfer to Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia, Real Madrid didn't bring in anyone with similar qualities. This meant last season's attackers were Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, both playing wide. This setup allowed Jude Bellingham, as a midfielder with freedom to surprise an attack, to score frequently, and strengthen the midfield defensively by having more players in the area. Thus, the midfield was typically composed of Bellingham, Valverde, Cruz, and Camavinga, reinforcing both defense and attack. With Mbappe's arrival, it was predictable that a player of his caliber wouldn't be a substitute. Consequently, Real Madrid has relied on a formation with 3 midfielders, weakening the defensive structure to play with 3 forwards, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Mbappe. This change has significantly affected Bellingham, who no longer has the same freedom to push forward, and it has weakened defensive coverage in the midfield. Moreover, some of Mbappe's decisions have been quite unfortunate. Sometimes he has a clear pass but doesn't make it. Other times he tries an individual move and fails, often leading to offside calls. Despite his speed, he has positioned himself poorly, particularly against Barcelona, where his impatience led to 8 offsides in the match. Overall, I believe Real Madrid can still turn things around and win titles this season. In my view, they have a capable coach and a high-level squad. However, for now, these 3 factors are seriously impacting the team's development. If Real Madrid doesn't resolve these issues soon, they may face a crucial Champions League stage against a strong opponent whom they won't be able to overcome, and by then, it might be too late.
Now, I'd like to hear from you in the comments. Do you agree that these 3 factors I mentioned in this video are affecting Real Madrid and impacting the team negatively? If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, share, and leave a comment.